And with me in the studio right now is Rikkie-Lee Tyrrell, who is our member for Northern Victoria, part of One Nation. Good morning.
Good morning.
How has this been for the party? You know, you're on the inside of it, the rise of One Nation. I think Pauline saw it happening. She thought, surely it's going to happen eventually. How do you feel about it?
I'm excited about it. Look, I've worked really hard with the party since 2019, and to see it coming all to fruition now, it's a breath of fresh air because I've worked so hard here in the Northern Victoria region, even before getting re-elected.
Yeah. So you worked in agriculture, worked as a farmer, moved into politics. What was the reasoning for that? Why did you get out of farming and go into politics?
Originally, it was water legislation because when we moved to the area in about 2017, 2018, we hadn't lived on the Murray-Darling Basin before, and
Right.
I noticed a lot of our neighbours were packing up and moving out, and I couldn't understand why. So I asked, what's going on? They said, there's no water, and I couldn't fathom what they were talking about because the river was full and it was hankering.
I know. No, it makes no sense, does it?
Yeah, no, so I started asking questions and it led to legislation. And I wanted to save this community from just dying because there's amazing people living here.
In terms of, you get out and about a lot, you meet a lot of people. What are the people of Northern Victoria, you know, Shepparton and surrounds and all the way up? Like, I looked at your region, it's like the top of the state. So it's a big region to look after. But what are they telling you about how they're feeling currently about state and federal politics?
They are fed up. They're fed up with being told the same thing over and over again and not seeing the results from whatever government is in power. And they want to see that change. They want to see Australian values being returned, and they want to see the red and green tape being cut that's strangling them from moving forward. Now,
we hear as well a lot about One Nation on the federal level. Obviously, Pauline and Barnett teaming up, you know, the dream team, Captain America and Iron Man getting together. What about state level, you know, One Nation on a state level? Is there, I guess, excitement and momentum building here in Victoria?
Yes, definitely. Look, we're running branches now, and we're at about 50% of our target. So we're going to have branches in every federal election, and then when they grow, we're going to be putting them in every state electorate.
Right.
Yeah, narrowing them down. We've recently saved for the seat of Nichols right here around
There was one opening recently?
There was, and it was at Gumbower, and there was between 80 and 100 people in attendance.
Heading into the 2028 federal election, One Nation's looking well. How are you feeling about November?
I'm feeling confident.
Yep.
I'm feeling excited. I've got a team of potential candidates that I've been keeping in touch with every fortnight. We sit down and we have a meeting. We talk about policy and campaigning, and they're looking really promising. I want to keep them under wing, so to say, to make sure that they're the right candidates for the job, because there's a high chance that they are going to get elected in, and I want to make sure that they're ready to hit the ground and running.
Yeah, good stuff. One last one, Pauline Hanson as a leader of the party. Do you have much contact with her? Like, what's the kind of protocol there like?
Yeah, she's great. I've actually got her number on my phone, so if I ever need any advice, I can call her whenever I like. I've only had to do that once, and that was when we had the voluntary assisted dying come through Parliament last year.
Right, okay.
And I just said, look, Pauline, this is how I'm going to be voting on this. We don't have a policy in the party. How do you feel? And luckily, she was on the same page as me, but it was a conscious vote. She goes, you vote the way that you feel your constituents want you to vote. As long as I'm representing them the right way, she stays out of her hair.
Fantastic. Yeah. Good stuff. Rikkie-Lee Tyrrell, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Great chatting to you.